So on January the 9th, I did a video about the title challenges and comparing Liverpool to the other four challengers at the time, who were Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. Then on January 22nd, I did the second one, where it was just then down to Liverpool and Arsenal because the others had all fallen away. In that video, I started it off by saying Liverpool were 1-4 to win the title and Arsenal were 4-1. And a load of statistics about why Liverpool were the favourites. So I wanted to do an update on that today and go through the stats again and just show why Liverpool are such overwhelming favourites for this title. Liverpool are 1-20 to win the league with some bookies. One bookie has them at 1-25. Arsenal are average about 12-1. They're pretty amazing odds when there's 11 games to go in a season and we're only in February. But I want to explain why it's more than just about the points lead that we've got. I wanted to delve a little deeper into the stats. Remember, we've played 27, Arsenal played 26, so there's only one game in it at the moment. But we've won more games than Arsenal. We've won 19 games to their 15. We've lost less than them. We've lost one game, they've lost 3. We've scored significantly more goals than them. We've scored 64, they've scored 51. And all the strikers are out. We've got a better goal difference than them of plus 38 to plus 28. It's almost like an extra point to have a plus 10 goal difference on anybody. And we've got more clean sheets than them, 10 versus 9. At the same time, we've now played 15 away games and they've played 13. We've only played 12 home games to Arsenal's 13. When you look at the last 8 results, I look at the last 8 results of us and then I look at the last 7 for Arsenal just because we played yesterday, which is our 8th game. We've played 6 away games out of the last 8 and 2 home. We drew with Forest, beat Brentford, beat Bournemouth, drew with Everton, drew with Villa, beat Man City, beat Wolves at home, beat Ipswich at home. Arsenal's last 7 games, they played 4 at home and 3 away. Remember, we had 2 at home and 6 away. Their 4 home games, beat Spurs, drew with Villa, beat City and lost to West Ham. Their 3 away games, they've drew to Brighton and they've beaten Wolves and beaten Leicester. So in those 7 games, 4 home, 3 away, they got 14 points. In our 8 games, 2 home, 6 away, we've got 18 points. So even if you add an extra game to theirs and they win it, they're still behind us over the last 8 games. And as I said in the last video, they had to significantly improve on us to have any chance, and they've actually achieved less points than us in the last 8 games. So let's look at just the home form of both clubs. At home, Liverpool have won 9 games to Arsenal's 8. Both have only lost 1 at home. Both have a plus 16 goal difference. Liverpool have got the best home defence with 10 conceded. Arsenal have got the second best with 11 conceded. Liverpool have scored 26 goals in 12 games. Arsenal have scored 27 goals in 13 games. Points per game at home is 2.42 to Liverpool, 2.15 to Arsenal. So we're ahead of them in that metric as well. We've got 29 points from 12 home games. They've got 28 points from 13 home games. So we played 1 less and we got 1 more point than them. One other point worth noting as we look ahead to what might happen. Arsenal had 5 successive London derbies at home. One of them's out the way and they lost it to West Ham. They've now got Chelsea, Fulham, Brentford and Crystal Palace as their next 4 home games, all London derbies. So away from home, and this is where it gets even more interesting. We've won 10 games to Arsenal's 7. We've lost none to Arsenal's 2. We've scored 38 goals to Arsenal's 24. 14 more goals. We've got a goal difference of plus 22 away from home to their plus 12. There's where the plus 10 goal difference comes from. Points per game away from home, Liverpool have got 2.33 and Arsenal 1.92. Of the 4 measures, points per game at home, points per game away across the 2 teams, Liverpool are above 2 in both Arsenal are above 2 at home and below 2 away from home. When you take all of that into account, Liverpool have got 35 points from 15 away games. Arsenal got 25 points from 13 away games. So we played 2 more away games than them, but we've got 10 points more than them away from home. So even if they to win both of those games, they'd still be 4 points behind us in terms of away form. People are looking at the game in hand. Arsenal have got a game in hand of us, so if they win that, it's down to 8 points. Of course, that's true. But here's the thing to consider when you're looking at the games in hand. They've played 2 less away games than us, and we've played 1 less game at home. So a lot's been made of the striker situation at Arsenal, and rightly so. To be perfectly honest, I personally don't believe that Jesus, Trossard, Sterling and Havertz are title-winning material as strikers. They just don't score enough anyway, and many of them are out injured. So I wanted to look at the strikers as we approach these critical games coming up. The strikers that are available for both teams. So Liverpool have got all 5 strikers available. So let's look at their stats. Salah has scored 25 and has 16 assists. Diaz has scored 9 and has 2 assists. Gakpo has scored 8 and has 3 assists. Jota scored 5 and also has 3 assists. Nunez has scored 4 and 2 assists. Liverpool's 5 strikers have 50 goals and 25 assists for 75 goal contributions this season. Let's look at Arsenal. Their only fit strikers are Trossard and Sterling. The rest of them are out at the moment. So let's look at the stats, comparing apples to apples here. Trossard has 4 goals and 5 assists. Sterling has no goals and 1 assist. So their grand total is, for all their fit strikers, 4 goals and 6 assists. 10 goal contributions compared to our 75 from our 5 fit strikers. The difference could not be more stark than that. Another measure is XG, expected goals. Now, I know it's a bit arbitrary, but in the end, we all know it's based on the chances, how many goals you're expected to score versus how many you've scored. So, overall, Liverpool's expected goals this season, in all Premier League games, is 66.5. We've scored 64. Arsenal's XG is 52.7 and he scored 51. So we're both slightly less than what we've been expected to score. But all this talk about, Liverpool missed so many chances. Arsenal slightly below their XG, we're slightly below our XG, but we've scored 13 more goals than they have. Liverpool's XG then is 14 higher than Arsenal, and we've scored 13 goals more than them. So it does work, kind of. Right, home XG. Our home XG is 27.6 and we've scored 26. Arsenal's home XG is actually a little bit higher than us, 29, and they've scored 27. So again, very similar, which is brought out by the fact that at home we're a lot closer than we are away. We're still ahead of them though, in terms of points per game, etc. Away from home, again, massive difference. Liverpool's XG away from home is 38.7 and we've scored 38. Arsenal's XG away from home is 23.4 and they've scored 24. So once again, the XG is really, really close to what the actual goals are. But we're 14 goals ahead of them. Let's move on. Percentage of points won. Liverpool have got 64 points from the 81 available. 79% of the points we've won so far this season. Arsenal have got 53 from the 78 available because they played 1 game less. And their point won is 68 versus our 79. Our points per game is 2.37. 2.37, almost 2.4 points per game. Arsenal's points per game is 2.0. 2.0 versus 2.4 per game so far this season. So I did this on the first video, so I'm going to do it again. A hypothetical situation. So Arsenal are currently winning 68% of their points. So let's just say they suddenly miraculously go up to 85%. From now till the end of the season, they get 85% of their points, which they haven't achieved at all this season. That means they would get 30 points of the next 36. That would give them a grand total of 83 points. So if they get 83 points, because they've suddenly miraculously gone to winning 85% of their points, we would only need 20 of the 33 left to us to achieve 84. So it would be 1 point ahead of them. And for us to do that, we only have to get 61% of the points left to us. If they get 85%, we still only got to get 61%. They're currently at 68 and you got to get to 85. We're currently at 79 and we'd have to drop to 61. That's how big it is, this lead. So after all that, I think it's pretty obvious why we are 1 to 20. As I say, it's much more than just about the points. Arsenal just had a golden opportunity to keep the pressure on. And they played at home to West Ham, who were in the bottom 6, and they lost. We played away to Man City, on paper, probably the toughest game that we have left. And we walked away with a 2-0 win after we hadn't won there for 10 years. So now, and we know just how important Anfield is to Liverpool, of these last 11 games, while we're 11 points clear, 7 of ours are at home and 4 of them are away. Arsenal's 12 remaining games, 6 at home and 6 away. So even in that metric, would you rather be playing at home all these games, or would you rather have to go away in these games? And we've got a significant advantage in that as well. Not to mention, of course, that one of our own games and one of their away games is Liverpool versus Arsenal at Anfield. So there's absolutely nothing that is not in our favour. I've had quite a lot of messages over the last day and no one's yet taken it for granted. Neither am I. I'm not willing to say it is won. But what I am willing to say is that we are in a position where all we have to do is what we've been doing so far this season, nothing more, nothing less, and we will walk this. And it's why we are such overwhelming favourites and why some bookies have already paid out. Let's bring it home, lads. You'll never walk alone. All the best. Cheers. Ta-ra.